The Expendables 2 is directed by Simon West, who also did, among other films, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and it stars a shitload of 80s action stars. And the plot concerns, well, let's just be honest, there really is no plot here. I really enjoyed the first Expendables film back in 2010. Sylvester Stallone nearly killed himself getting that film made. He co-produced, co-wrote, directed, starred, and he did a lot for that movie, and he almost killed himself literally in the process of making that film. And this time around he's not doing as much. He co-wrote and stars in it, so yeah, less of a workload. And while I don't think it's necessarily better than the first movie, well, parts of it are better than the first movie, but the whole experience just overall I didn't find was better than the first movie, but this is still a fun movie. Certain characters were not in the film as long as I had hoped they would be. In fact, one character, and I won't say who it is, but one character was in the film for only like the opening scene, that was it, then he was gone. I can't say what the reason behind that decision was, but the fact that he wasn't in the film as long as I was hoping he would be in the film was a disappointment. The script is kind of what you'd expect. It's co-written by Sylvester Stallone, so you pretty much guaranteed to have some very, very cheesy one-liners. Some of them work for the most part, and some of them are just like, really? There's quite a bit of action in this film, as you might expect. However, this film runs into a problem that a film like Transformers may run into. And that's that when you have stuff blowing up, and a lot of stuff at that blowing up, but you don't really have an emotional investment in the characters, the action really becomes pointless. I'm not saying that I didn't care about the characters, I'm just saying that they're not really characters, they're just 80s action heroes in a movie together, and yeah. There's no real character development, there's just dialogue that makes them attempt to look badass, but at the end of the day they're just guys blowing shit up. Also, the editing could have been a little bit better. There were some points where it was just a bit too quick and you didn't really get the full idea of what was going on. And Simon West did a fine job directing the film. I didn't think that he was the best possible choice, but he did a little bit better job than Stallone did the last time. And some I actually didn't realize the first time watching the first Expendables, which I later realized after my friend pointed out to me, was that Stallone shot pretty much every action hero the same way. And when you've got a guy who's good at hand-to-hand combat and one guy who's good at shooting guns, you can't really shoot them the same way. But this time around, all the stars were shot very well. The action, you could see what was going on, not that you couldn't see the first one, but it was better this time. So overall, I enjoyed the film. I think if you are willing to pay money to go and see all the explosions in the theaters, then it is worth your time. However, I would not necessarily rush to go and see it. So I'm going to give The Expendables 2 3 out of 5 stars and say it is a good time, but it could have been a little bit better.